Okay, good morning, guys. So, making your way onto your mat. Let's start in an upright seat this morning, closing the eyes and just tuning in, just checking in with yourself. For most of us, this practice is early in the morning. So maybe your body's still a little bit stiff. Maybe you had dreams or just some thoughts that you woke up with this morning. So just acknowledge how you're feeling physically, how you're feeling mentally and emotionally, and then honor yourself and honor your time and see if you can put all of those thoughts, all of those emotions, and just put them aside, at least for the next 30 minutes. They'll be there when we're finished, but you've carved out this time for yourself, so be fully present with yourself, not with your thoughts, not with your to do list, but yourself. Take a few moments and start to tap into your breath, allowing the inhales and the exhales to become equal. This brings you in a state of balance, a state of presence and calm. Ideally, we're breathing into the belly, out of the chest, down into the diaphragm, and feeling the navel expand. We'll start this morning with just a couple of very slow neck rolls, starting to link a little bit of breath with movement, waking up through these very small tendons and ligaments and joints in our neck and shoulders. So exhale and drop your chin towards your chest. Feel the stretch of the back of the neck, that cervical spine. And as you inhale, draw your chin over towards the right ear and then up towards the sky, starting to open up through the front of the throat. And as you exhale, the chin descends down towards the left. So moving slowly here. If we move too quickly, we can risk injury. So take it slow. Notice any particular areas that feel a little tight or tender. And I invite you to stay and breathe into them. You don't have to keep moving. You're going to complete the breath cycle that you're on, and then we're going to switch the rotation of the circles. So coming back down to the chin towards the chest, inhale over to the left, and then up towards the sky. The exhale, you descend down towards the right. Notice the difference here. Does this side feel a little bit more tender? Do you need to pause and breathe into a particular area? Be aware of what's happening in these very subtle and small areas of your body. And then completing your breath cycle, we'll come back to a neutral head and neck. We'll get a little bit more head and shoulder stretch in before we start to flow this morning. So as you exhale, you're going to drop your right ear to your right shoulder, starting to breathe space into the left side neck, the trap, and into the shoulder. Couple of options here. You can bring your right hand to the top of your head. You can also rotate your chin up towards the sky or maybe down towards the armpit and see which one gives you a bigger stretch or a bigger sensation. So you get to choose here. And then if you want to take this sensation even deeper, you're going to take your left hand alongside your hip, walking the fingers away so that they begin to hover off of the mat. You may be feeling this in that left arm at this point, and you can stay here. But if you'd like to switch the stretch and deepen into the front of that left shoulder and into the pec, you're going to wrap your your left hand around your right side body and start to feel the stretch and opening through the front of the left shoulder. One more breath here. Notice where you're feeling restricted. Use your next inhale to unwind that left arm, release the right hand, and very slowly bring that head center. See if you can feel that release of tension and tightness. And then we'll do that on the other side. So the left ear to the left shoulder, breathing space into the right side neck, the right trap. You can rotate that chin up towards the sky or down towards the armpit. Placing the left hand on top of the head, deepening into the stretch. And then choosing which arm variation is best for you on this side. Maybe you keep that right hand outreached and fingers hovering. Perhaps you take the half bind. Take a couple equal inhales and exhales here, acknowledging the different sides and sensations. And then the next inhalation, you're going to come back center. We're going to cross right over our ankles and come right into a down dog this morning. So taking your time to get there, keeping a nice deep bend in your knees and pedaling out through your heels. You're not running a sprint. You can take your time, really feeling the sole of the foot, the calf, and the hamstring stretch before switching to the other side. Inhale, come back center. Making your way into a traditional down dog. I have to move because it's starting to rain on me. So coming into your assertive downward dog, you're going to inhale, shift into high plank, holding high plank, engaging the body, feeling the abdominals start to warm up, broadening across your shoulders. And with a very slow and patient exhale, you're going to lower down through your chaturanga, sliding your elbows underneath of your shoulders, and inhaling up into a Sphinx pose. Trying to draw the lower ribs off of the mat. Pause here in Sphinx pose, squeezing the scapula together, getting a nice stretch for the thoracic spine. Begin to bend the knees here, deepening the compression in the lumbar spine. And then with your next exhale, you can drop the tops of your feet back to the earth and sit back towards a child's pose, starting to counter that back bend. Allow this to be an active child's pose. So keep your hands outreached in front of you, fingers tented, head is heavy. Take 3 more conscious breaths here and feel the area of your back body expand. Feel your rib cage expand. Feel your collarbones lift. And with the next inhale, you tuck your toes. You make your way back into a downward dog. Starting to find just a little bit more movement in our practice this morning. As you inhale, you're going to draw the right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. And then back to 3-legged dog. This time you're bringing your knee to your nose and you're going to pause here and you're going to round and hold for a couple extra breaths. So shift your weight forward so you're high on the ball of the left foot and draw that knee deeper in towards the chest. Keep the breath steady. Inhale, take a back 3-legged dog. Exhale, step that foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. Keep that left leg active. Lift the hips here. The knee's going to want to bend. It makes it much harder. Keep that leg active and straight. Lift the hips. On your next inhale, you're going to draw the arms to frame your ears, coming back into that core that we were igniting a few breaths ago. Palms face one another. Draw your right hip back. And use your next inhalation to lift all the way up into crescent warrior. Stay committed to the bend in that right knee. Even though your arms are active and assertive, relax the shoulders a bit. If you'd like to explore some back bends this morning, you're going to inhale, lift the heart and sternum, and then exhale, take a little back bend. Continue lifting with the heart. That's the trick here in these back bends. That's what's going to keep you stable and safe. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step that right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Maybe you take a three-legged vinyasa. Maybe you don't. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. On the next inhale, we lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. And then three-legged dog. And then left knee, right elbow. And back to your three-legged dog. This time you bring that knee to your nose and you round and you hold, engaging the core, starting to build some more heat, working on your balance and stamina, broadening across the back. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. And exhale, you step that foot forward, runner's lunge. Take a moment to really establish your foundation here. And then when you're ready, inhale, draw the arms to frame the ears. The torso is still parallel with the mat. You're going to draw that left hip back just slightly. Keep the core strong and steady. And then inhale, rotate the pelvis, crescent warrior. If you're going to be exploring back bends in this crescent, make sure that your footing and your foundation is really stable first. And then inhale, lift that heart, lift the sternum, and then exhale, you just begin to lean into the back bend. Inhale, you come center. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Take that left foot up and back. Maybe you take a three-legged vinyasa. Maybe you don't. We'll meet in downward dog. Working on some more back bends today. As you inhale, you're going to shift yourself back into a high plank. We're going to hold for 5 breaths, really building heat and strength in the core, in the back muscles, across the shoulders, squeezing the glutes, engaging the full body here, yet keeping the breath steady and patient. And then with control, you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes. You can stack your palms and rest your forehead or your chin here. You can bend the knees and just take a little sway out from the hips. We're going to come into a series of back bends here. And we'll take it step by step. So leave the upper portion of your body relaxed so you can keep your forehead on the mat if you like, nice and soft here. But you're going to zip up your legs. So the inseam of your legs is pressing together. And as you take your next inhale, keeping the legs straight, pointing through the toes, you're going to start to lift the legs off of the mat, eventually bringing the tops of the thighs off the mat. So you're pressing your pubic bone, you're pressing your pelvis into the earth. You're breathing so deep in your belly, you can actually feel yourself rocking. Keep those legs engaged, building strength in the lower back and the glutes and the thighs and then the core. And then exhale, release. Let everything be soft. We're going to do that with the front of our body or the top of our body. So bringing your hands alongside the hips, the thumbs touch the mat, the fingers face one another. You can allow your glutes and legs to be soft here. And on your inhale, you start to lift your head, your shoulders, your chest, your rib cage, and your hands off of the mat, continuously squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're still breathing into the belly, so you're feeling that rocking sensation with each inhale. Starting to feel the strength build in your thoracic spine, across your chest and shoulders. And then exhale, release, and soften. We're going to do that with the full body, so full locust pose. I'm going to give you an extra option here. You can do that whole pose again, just like we did with your hands alongside your hips. If you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper and have a little bit more challenge, you can bring your arms out in front of you so your pinkies are on the earth and your palms face one another. So either thumbs on the earth, palms face the body alongside your hips, or arms reached in front, pinkies on the earth, thumbs towards the sky. On your next inhale, zip up those inline of the legs and lift the entire body off of the mat. So you're just rocking and teetering on your navel and in your pelvis. Continue dropping those shoulder blades down and away, lifting the legs off of the mat. Full locust pose, full shalabhasana. 3 more breaths here. This is a big strength building pose. It's an energizing pose. And then exhale, release. After you've taken a breath or two, you can bend the knees and just kind of sway or seagrass and rock out through the hips. To counter this back bend, we're going to sit back into a restful child's pose. Allow the hands to come near the heels. Let the forehead be heavy. Let the back be round. The abdomen is soft. So in those back bends, we were compressing our vertebrae. And here, now we're stretching. It's always important to counter big poses like that. So we take another breath here. And then we'll slowly make our way back into a downward facing dog. If you'd like a little bit more movement, you're welcome to take a vinyasa here and then meet us back in down dog. If you're skipping a vinyasa, that's okay. You're going to find a nice, still, and assertive down dog for 4 more breaths. With the next inhale, you're going to bend the knees, switch the gaze, and hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Exhale, you fold. We're going to hang heavy here, but this is an assertive standing forward fold. So a couple options. You can wrap your arms around your calves and deepen in this way. If you have really tight hamstrings, go ahead and take a little bend in your knees to protect the hamstrings. You can also wrap your fingers around, your peace fingers around your big toes, and then bend the elbows to deepen in that way. We're going to spend 4 more breaths here. So push past that comfort level just a little bit. Really deepen into the stretch. Feel those hamstrings, feel the lower back, feel the mid back. And then with closed eyes and a soft spine, you're going to inhale and roll all the way to standing. We're going to keep moving though. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips as the hands move towards the earth. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, lift up, crescent warrior. 1 breath here. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step the left foot back. Move through your vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward dog. From down dog, you inhale, lift the right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Inhale, lift up, crescent warrior. 1 breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. This time, stepping the left foot forward. Exhale, fold. We're going to keep moving. Inhale, you rise to standing. You reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, you hinge at the hips. Hands move towards the earth. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back. I know we were just here. Inhale, lift yourself into a crescent warrior. 1 breath. Exhale, drop the hands to the earth, right foot up and back. Maybe you take that vinyasa. And then from downward dog, we inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step that left foot forward. Inhale, lift up, crescent warrior, one breath. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step that right foot forward, standing forward fold. We're going to heel toe our feet wider than our hips. And as we exhale, we'll drop our seat, coming into Malasana or a yogi squat. So for some of us, it's going to be more accessible to be on the balls of our feet. That's perfectly okay. My only real request is that you avoid rounding through your spine here, that you really draw those shoulder blades down in a way and keep the spine nice and straight. So we're going to be here for 3 more breaths. Bring the palms together, use the backs of the arms and spread the knees open to deepen the stretch into the groin. If you'd like, you can take a couple neck circles here, going in one direction and then in the other. And then the next exhale, you just drop your seat and we're coming all the way supine, allowing the spine to become neutral, coming back to those equal inhales and exhales. You can sway out from the hips here, finding a little seagrass with the knees. We're going to come into one more back bend this morning, a nice long bridge pose. So sliding the heels underneath of your knees, the arms alongside the body. Take a moment and press your sacrum into the earth. Squeeze your thighs together and feel this whole torso and trunk area really begin to engage. Your next conscious inhale, you lift the pelvis as you continue to draw the thighs towards one another. You start to roll the shoulder blades down the back, intertwining the fingers and lifting higher through the front body. Be sure to leave space between your chin and your collarbones. So think of if you had an orange and just kind of wedged in there, that's about how much space you want to leave so you can breathe. Continue squeezing the glutes, lifting the pelvis higher, deepening into your back bend. If you're feeling stable and strong today, you can lift one leg, bringing the knee in towards the chest, maybe straightening the leg. To come out of it, you bend the knee first and then replace the foot. And then you can do that on the other side, drawing the other knee in towards the chest and then maybe straightening the leg. We're holding this back bend 3 more breaths. I know it's a really long time. Keep squeezing the glutes, keep engaging the core. And then slowly begin to release back towards the earth. Actively pressing your sacrum into the mat first, letting your spine come to neutral. So we are going to counter that, but you don't want to counter right away. You really want to give your spine and your vertebrae a moment to just settle. And then now to counter that, you can draw the knees in towards the chest and kind of rock or sway out through the pelvis. Hugging both knees in. And on your exhale, you're going to drop them both to the left as the gaze goes to the right. Both shoulders remain on the mat. You come back to your breath and you begin to slow it down, allowing the exhales to eventually become longer than the inhales. And then inhale, draw both knees center, and exhale, take that supine twist on the opposite side. slowing down the exhales, preparing yourself for Shavasana. And then you inhale, center, and exhale, release. Making yourself comfortable, allowing the feet to be wider than the hips. Your shoulders are comfortably drawn down the back. Give yourself permission to be soft and relaxed here. We did a lot of back bends and they can be quite invigorating. So if you find that your mind is extra active in this moment, that's okay. Just give it something to think about while your body rests. Give yourself permission to daydream. Just breathe and relax. And you're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as your body needs. This is your practice. But if you're ready, or whenever you're ready, you just gently bring yourself back to your present moment, witnessing yourself lying in Shavasana. And then beginning to invite gentle movement back through your fingers and your toes. Eventually drawing your knees in towards your chest. And then making your way up to a comfortable seat. The eyes are closed or at a soft gaze. Your hands can come to heart center to seal your practice. And for just a moment, pause. Check back in with yourself. How are you feeling now? Are you feeling more clarity, a little bit more energized, a little bit more expansive? And in honor of all that you are, namaste.